and hard work and perseverance. We need to inject those messages. And health information that they're trying to hide from you. There's a lot of health information out there that you probably don't know about, especially if you just stay in the medical model and go to your doctor and you're taking your prescription drugs. There's ways to do it. I haven't had a prescription drug 8 years, maybe one in between there for I had a really bad case of poison ivy, and I had a steroid to take care of the itch. That's about it. I haven't had anything in a long time because I've decided to take and break away from the medical model, which also means you have to empower yourself. And by empowering yourself, that means you have to take responsibility. So I want to get into this Ebola news now. Mail Online has an article. U.S. to send 3,000 troops to Ebola danger zone as Obama administration shuffles military's mission in Africa. Yeah, there's no shuffling. That's been the plan, which we talked to you about in Obama Deception. Webster Tarpley broke it down, how AFRICOM is going to go in, and that's the next place, and that's why we need a black president to go into Africa. But what's really interesting is you go through this article, and they talked to a Pentagon official, Mail Online did. He says, combat soldiers and Marines will be on hand and ready for anything, said the official, who has knowledge of some but not all of the Ebola-related planning. But hopefully it will be all logistics and hospital building. The president has ordered us to help, and we're eager to do it, he said. Now, it looks like we're going to be the lead dog, and that's bound to make a lot of people nervous. I wonder why. And it's understandable. But no one wants U.S. personnel enforcing someone else's martial law if things go south and the entire region is at risk. At that point, in the response like this, we would normally play a support role for USAID, and that's Soros-run, and the CDC, he said, referring to U.S. Agency of International Development and the Centers for Disease Control. So we're sending troops there possibly for a martial law scenario, which they have been training for under the guise of this zombie apocalypse. There's a Christian Science Monitor article from 2012. U.S. military forces train for zombie apocalypse. And Brad Barker, president of Halo Corp, says this is a really good exercise, not just some kind of costume party. I think it's amazing that he's president of Halo Corp. Why not just be the president of the Umbrella Corporation and get it over with? Those of you who've watched Resident Evil will understand that. And over the weekend, there was an interesting article from the New York Times, an opinion piece called The Great Unraveling, just talking about how the systems are breaking down. And this is all done by design to get us into other wars, open up the borders so you have different types of people coming in who aren't supposed to be coming into your country. And you've got these pandemics breaking out with Ebola, all kinds of stuff, really amazing stuff. And we're going to play some special reports as well. I want to go to one here coming up. Let's see. Do we still have time to play that one, guys? Not enough. Okay, we're going to play that in the next segment. And that's about the 28 pages that are being kept classified of the 9/11 Commission report, which is a whitewash in itself. But there's 28 pages that they thought were too damning to release to the public. We've got senators, we've got congressmen, we've got former 9/11 commissioners calling for this to be brought out into the open, for light to be shed on it, so we can all see what's going on. Because we know the official story doesn't have a leg to stand on, especially when you start looking at it from an objective point of view, not from an hysterical mind control, mind slave point of view of problem, reaction, solution. When you take that out of the equation and you look at the fundamentals of who was in charge, who stood down, and all the other millions of smoking guns that come with 9/11, then you see that it is a fraud and the official story does not stand. So we're going to get to that coming up in the break, and I don't even think I'm going to come back. We're just going to go right into that piece about the 28 pages. And then when we come back at the bottom of the hour, we're going to have the Rudy Dent interview, which is an amazing interview. I couldn't believe that this guy, 14 years later, he's still passionate about the topic. He mentions the 3 friends he lost. I mean, this guy is really opening up, and you need to get this interview. It should have more than 225,000 views. I mean, Spider Dog gets 70-something million views, and it's literally a nothing video. I mean, it's funny, but there's no cultural significance to that video other than it's funny. But we're gonna be back with all that. Plus, we have Lord Mockton in the second hour, and in the third hour, we're gonna have the William Binney, Alex Jones interview, an amazing interview. You want to talk about a whistleblower, an NSA whistleblower? He's one of the originals. Way before Edward Snowden decided to come out, there was William Binney. So we've got all that and more. It's the Alex Jones Show. We're here live. It's September 16, 2014. I'm your host, Rob Dude. We'll be right back.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day, unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Open your eyes. It's time to give your eyes a powerful nutritional boost. Sight is the primary input to the brain, arguably making eyesight the most important sense we have. And just like the other important organs in our bodies, our eyes function at peak levels when they are fed the proper amounts of essential nutrition. Open your eyes. Combining key ingredients like vitamin A, zinc, lutein, proprietary saffron bulb extracts, and more, OcuPower by InfoWars Life is the new formulation specifically designed to nutritionally assist the natural function of healthy eyes. Optimize the natural power of your eyes with the latest addition to the super high-quality InfoWars Life formulations, OcuPower. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to order OcuPower or call 1-888-253-3139. OcuPower. Open your eyes.
In today's unstable environment, self-protection is critical. Civil unrest, riots, looting, it's happening now right here in the United States, and your rights are at risk. If passed, H.R. 5344 would ban Level 3 and above body armor. Cady Armor is standing up for you. We offer the most affordable Level 3 body armor on the market. Cady Level 3 armor withstands pistol and rifle hits up to 7.62 NATO. Get yours at CadyArmor.com. That's C-A-T-I Armor.com. Cady Armor. Come and take it.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
Man thinks 'cause he rules at us.
After the 9/11 attacks, the American public was told that Al-Qaeda acted alone. They told us that 9/11 was not state-sponsored terrorism, meaning no other country or government helped plan, finance, practice, and execute the complicated and well-orchestrated attack on our country. We were led to believe it was perpetrated solely by Osama bin Laden and his al-Qaeda network of radical Muslim extremists. The United States and its allies retaliated first by targeting Afghanistan and then by launching the invasion of Iraq in 2003.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
But 13 years after September 11th, 2001, there are still questions about who planned and financed 9/11. And 28 censored pages of the official 9/11 report remain classified to this day as a matter of national security. But many surviving family members of the victims and a growing number of the American public aren't buying the Bush administration's original claim that the documents must be kept secret to help investigators hunt down terrorists. In fact, there has recently been a handful of lawmakers who have finally been able to get access to the protected 28 pages, and they are absolutely shocked at the level of foreign state involvement in the attacks.
This is sort of shocking when you read it. As I read it, and we all had our own experience, I had to stop every couple pages and just sort of absorb and try to rearrange my understanding of history for the past 13 years and the years leading up to that. It challenges you to rethink everything. And so I think the whole country needs to go through that.
I want those documents declassified. I'm embarrassed to be associated with a work product that is secret.
Now, federal law forbids these guys to publicly identify which foreign entity was responsible in assisting the terrorist, but judging by the long history of the Bush family's close and personal relationship with the Saudi royal family, all evidence points to Saudi Arabia. And now a bipartisan bill has been sponsored by Congressman Walter Jones and Stephen Lynch, asking President Obama to release the classified records. Yeah, well, don't hold your breath. The new boss is the same as the old boss. Former Senator Bob Graham, who co-chaired the joint Senate-House investigation into the September 11th attacks, he says, "I am convinced that there was a direct line between at least some of the terrorists who carried out the September 11th attacks and the government of Saudi Arabia." He called it a smoking gun and went on to say the reason for this cover-up goes right up to the White House. Meanwhile, the New York Post says the Saudis deny any role in 9/11, but the CIA in one memo reportedly found incontrovertible evidence that Saudi government officials, not just wealthy Saudi hardliners, but high-level diplomats and intelligence officers employed by the kingdom, helped the hijackers both financially and logistically.
What do we know is in the 28 censored pages of the 9/11 report? People that have seen it said it would bring down the whole system.
I've met with and talked to multiple members of Congress who read it. They are convinced the American people needs to see it. It has to do with information which is not convenient to the White House, either White House, the Clinton White House or the Bush White House, and it has to do with an ally who essentially looked the other way and allowed a lot of support for the terrorists who conducted the attack.
But just to be clear, this is what I've been told, that there was a cover-up, that Saudi Arabia was involved, and basically that's why there was a stand-down, because they didn't want to embarrass the Saudis, and that's why 6 of the 10 commissioners want it released. Is that right?
I can't confirm everything you just said, but I can confirm the Saudi is the name of the country which is being implicated, yes.
And do you think it's going to be released?
I'm working with a number of members of Congress and doing everything I can to help behind the scenes. I hope that they do. I know there's a coalition right now trying to get it released, Alex. I hope they get it released.
That's right. You're working with Walter Jones of North Carolina and Stephen Lynch of Massachusetts.
That's correct, yes.
Well, you guys don't need to fly on any small planes, I'll tell you that.
That's true.
Wow. So the question is, if members of the Saudi government did in fact help train and finance the hijackers, wouldn't that make 9/11 more than just an act of terrorism? I mean, that would make it an act of war. And I think we can all agree that the classified documents no longer, if ever, pose a risk to national security. I guess you could say they do pose a risk to George W. So what are you afraid of, Bush? Why don't you and Obama get together and release the documents? After all, you're either with us or you're with the terrorist.
There you go. Get that report out. It's Leaders Demand Release of Censored 28 Pages of 9/11 Report. Leaders Demand Release of Censored 28 Pages of 9/11 Report. Get that out to everyone you know. We're going to be back with Rudy Dent.
We're on the march.